Jabber was a kind-hearted therapist who took pride in helping troubled men work through their problems in a healthy way. One day, while watching TV, he receives word of a young troubled boy, Rudo, who had apparently been kidnapped by an umbrella-wielding menace named Ingene, and with Ingene as a bad influence. Young Rudo soon began to suffer from a crippling candy addiction. He was force-fed the candy until he grew to the size of a bowling ball, and that was only the beginning of his problems. Jabber couldn't bear to watch this happen, so he decided to stage an intervention for young Rudo in an old abandoned parking lot. He tried to show Rudo the error of his ways and leading him down a better path. But unfortunately, Rudo was blinded by his addiction and had already sold his soul to a late-stage primordial candy god, so Jabber now had to fight for his life. His speed far outclassed Rudo's, but every time Jabber found an opening to finish him off, he couldn't bring himself to do it, because deep down, he still hoped that Rudo could change his ways. Through sheer will, he eventually managed to take Rudo down without killing him, and he was about to drag him off to get some candy rehab. But just then, the villainous cleaner gang showed up in full force, and they were unwilling to lose one of their most profitable customers, so they had come ready to kidnap him and take him back to their HQ. Jabber desperately wanted to save Rudo, but unfortunately, his legs were already on the verge of giving out, and he knew he stood no chance against the cleaners, so he was forced to abandon Rudo for now and run away. Later on, the cleaners took Rudo to a restaurant where they introduced him to the other children they had kidnapped for a client who owns an island, but a good-natured stranger happened to overhear their conversation, and he couldn't stand by while young children suffered. So he grabbed Rudo by the neck and attempted to teleport him away to safety. Unfortunately, the cleaners yet again, unwilling to let go of their prey, chased him through the portal and prepared to beat the crap out of Zodal for daring to defy them. However, Zodal wasn't alone. He and several other good and kind people, including Jabber, all gathered to put a stop to the cleaners' reign of terror, but the number one priority right now was to get the predatory cleaners away from Rudo, so Zodal activated the Trashalanche trap he had prepared in advance. This trap separates all the cleaners into various different rooms, and now that it's a fair 1v1, Jabber finally has a chance to settle the score with the ringleader of the cleaners, Mr. Green. Mr. Green was a notorious troublemaker, often bullying his classmates with a massive grin on his face and lording over them. However, that all changed when one day, a new student showed up and put an end to Mr. Green's reign of supremacy by beating him at his own game and making him call her mommy in front of everyone. Countless people witnessed his humiliation, and within minutes, TikTok slander edits have been made by the dozens, so there was nothing Mr. Green could do to salvage his reputation. He hit rock bottom back then, and Jabber could see the deep-seated trauma going on in Mr. Green's mind. So he stopped the fight, and using his therapy skills, he began to talk things out with him. Over the course of their conversation, they both got to know each other really well and became good friends, even spending a couple minutes laughing about how funny this whole thing was. But just as Jabber was about to leave after having saved another lost soul with his therapy, he heard the sound of saxophones playing, and he knew exactly what that meant. He tried to flee as fast as he could, but before he could react to the situation, he had already been switched down by the reincarnation of Primeball, leaving him laying in a pool of his own blood. This story was brought to you and paid for by Jabber's PR team for narrators. The events detailed are definitely how it actually played out. Trust,